In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to calculate the exponential moving average. Um, EMA is a very popular signal used to know when to suggest when to buy and sell. The Bollinger Bands famously uses exponential moving average when the price crosses the moving average, either one standard deviation above or below. It indicates that the asset is either oversold or overbought. So we'll show you how to do that. So let's start on your home page. Click on your Advanced Shared Nodes link. That'll bring us to our shared folder. The file I want to work with, I've already downloaded Market Open, which I'm going to use in web downloads. What I want to use is calculate EMA prices. So we'll download this piece. Okay, so we're going to start a new tab. And I'm going to start by bringing in the Market Open node. Make this a little bit larger. Okay. And we're going to make a comment here. Okay, so this is just a standard inject node to kick off the node. Here is the node that we're going to use to to make sure that the market's open, and also to set the ticker. So the ticker we're going to be using, we define that in line 5, message symbol. Again, just to reiterate, when we're passing variables from one node to the next, we like to use the message.symbol is NVIDIA, and we're also going to store that as a flow, as a symbol name. And then we're retrieving from the globals this market status. So we want to make sure the market's open. And we can just enable that. So we can check and see if the market is in fact open. Market is open. Okay. I'll disable that because we don't need to see that. Now I'm going to need to get the current prices, and for that I'm going to get the Alpaca last trade endpoint, which is right here. The last trade endpoint, all you have to do is send the message symbol to that, and you'll get back a result. And let's set this up as a paper, using a paper account. And then I'm going to import a display node, display prices, similar to what we did with the RSI. And in this, we're showing I'm going to uncomment this. I'd like to see the current price, the previous price. And I believe the inject node is set to run every 10 seconds. Yes, it's on a 10-second interval. Okay, so you can see we're getting our price current here. There was no previous price the first time because it has to run once, because it stores the current price as the previous. So you can see the two different prices here. Now I want to bring in my EMA node, calculate the EMA prices. And then this comes attached with a Postgres node because we want to store the result, because just like the RSI, we want to examine the curve later and see what it looks like. So let's just open this up again. This is gonna, these have quite a bit of information. The first 50 lines or so is documentation. It tells you what factors we're going to be using. We use a lambda factor in the calculation for the exponential moving average. That defines how far back we're going in terms of what essentially the lag is between the moving average and the actual price. We also define the volume floor, threshold. We want to check and make sure there's some code here where we look to make sure the price is accurate. We set a table name, EMA. We're going to save that data here. We calculate the return var. So these are variances that are all of these are important in terms of the calculations. Again, look through the documentation, look through Jerzy Pulowski's explanation of how EMAs are created to get a clearer understanding. This RET current is important. That's the difference between the current price and the previous price, and that's important in terms of the calculations. And one of the things that we do, lines 101 through 109, we do this in any of the calculations. If there is some bad data, and the data is coming from the exchanges, occasionally there will be wrong prices. If you get a bad price, say the price comes in $1 higher than it was the previous 10 seconds or the previous second, that's obviously an error. If it corrects, and then the next instant goes right back to where you were, that'll throw off moving average calculations or any of these indicators. So we put in some code here that's designed to clean the data, make sure that we exclude, you can see it's an if clause, if we don't like the prices we're seeing, well, we're not going to use it. Otherwise, we go ahead and run the rest of it and do the calculations. And that's happening through here. Again, I don't want to go through all the detail, but spend some time getting to know how these calculations are done. And then it finishes up with a SQL query. It's going to insert this into the table name. It's going to give us the EMA. We're going to get the EMA price and store that so that we can do further analysis. So I'm going to deploy this. Now they're connected. In fact, let me uncomment the query so we can actually see that the data is being inserted. You notice that, rather than edit this out, I'll actually show you. Notice we're getting an error message here. We're getting a duplicate key value error in the Postgres table. The table was designed so that there was a primary key so that we wouldn't duplicate 1 second data on top of another. So in order to get rid of that error message and allow it to proceed, Postgres has this special command which I'm going to use, which is on conflict, do nothing. So when I put this in, this means if there is a conflict already, just ignore it. Okay. So you can see here, this is 1639. In fact, we're getting the market has just closed. So the prices aren't going to move very much after this point. And then to download this data for further analysis, I'm going to import the web links for downloads. Now this was written for RSI, but it's easy to change that. I'm going to call this EMA. this lowercase. And then the table name is generic. It picks up the field name, stored field name, table name, so we don't need to change that. And it should work. So now if I copy this, let's create a new tab. API slash EMA. So we communicate with the server. Okay, and we got a file. That's exactly what we want. And in fact, this should be an EMA file. We'll make this a little larger. So the data's here. You can see we're getting this every 10 seconds, 17, 27, 37, 47. We actually aren't using the return value in this particular calculation. So let's chart the price. We'll give it its own tab. Let's click on this, make this a little smaller. I like to make the line a little thinner, more precise when we have a lot of data like this. Okay, and then we're going to add the EMA, which I believe is column E. We'll just check that. So to add an extra column, copy this, add the column, call this EMA. And then we have to change the column names from B to E. Okay. Now, in fact, we'll make this line a little narrower too, so you can see more precisely. Okay. So you can see the price and you can see the crossover. So these are crossover points. The crossover points when you're working with the EMA is typically where you'd want to buy and sell. When your price drops below your exponential moving average, that's typically a buy signal. And then when price exceeds the exponential moving average, this would be these are sell signals up here. And again, the actual way the exponential moving average is drawn will depend on the lambda value. Again, algorithmic trading is all about testing and testing and testing some more and optimization, finding the right values to use where you get the best results. So that's how you build and analyze an EMA.